Range script loaded. You can now press Escape, select Choose Slot and pick your aircraft. The Skyhawk is armed with two Colt Mark 12 cannons, one in each wing root. The Mark 12 was standard cannon armament on American naval fighters and attack aircraft from the early 50s to the early 70s, including the F-4D Skyray, F-3H Demon, A-4 Skyhawk, F-8 Crusader, F-11 Tiger, and early Navy versions of the A-7 Corsair. In addition, the Skyhawk can mount up to 3 Mark IV high-peg gun pods on stations 2, 3 and 4. Developed by the U.S. Navy, this pod is fitted with a Mark 11 Model 5, 20mm cannon, along with 750 rounds of ammunition. This pod was used on a variety of U.S. Navy and Marine Corps aircraft including the A-4 Skyhawk, F-4 Phantom, and the OV-10 Bronco. For this training mission, we will use a weapons range that uses objects created by the 476th Virtual Fighter Group, and a hit counting script developed by Sir Bob, that will allow you to gauge your accuracy and monitor your progress. Your goal is to make at least 3 gun strafing passes through the weapons range, and hit each target at least once. You can access the gun shooting statistics calling up the F10 option of the communications menu. Press spacebar to continue. Your aircraft is ready to start the flight. Increase throttle and let the aircraft slowly move forward. Once the aircraft is moving, press the wheel brakes to confirm their operation. Release the wheel brakes and resume the taxi. Be careful of other traffic that may be near you. Good. Now turn left and proceed along the taxiway, towards the runway. Stop just short of the runway and then check that there is no air traffic about to land or take off. Unfortunately, the Skyhawk can't make use of the air traffic controller on DCS. If there is no traffic, enter the runway, align on its center and stop there. Refer to the takeoff checklist that is printed on the lower right of the instrument panel, beside the emergency generator handle. 1. Check trim. Elevator trim. 8 degrees nose up rudder trim. 0 degrees. 2. Seat harness. The shoulder harness should be in the locked position, forward. 3. Canopy. Confirm that the canopy is fully closed. 4. Flaps. Set to half extension. Press spacebar once they are extended. 5. Speed brakes. Confirm that they are closed. 6. Armament. Check that all switches are off. 7. Spoilers. Switch to armed, for shore-based operations. 8. Nose wheel steering. Set to normal. Actually, on the current simulation of the Skyhawk, there is no working nose wheel steering button, so it is always engaged. This completes the takeoff checklist. We will skip the engine fuel control test for brevity, as you already learned it on the carrier taxi and launch training mission. We are now ready for takeoff. Follow the usual procedure. 1. Hold wheel brakes, increase throttle to 90% RPM. Check instruments and alerts. If everything is well, release the brakes and accelerate to 100% RPM. Two. Reaching 135 knots, pull back softly on the stick until the aircraft nose be on the air. 3. Once fully airborne, retract the landing gear. 4. Raise the flaps once over 170 knots. 5. Accelerate to climb speed. For this mission, fly at 300 knots. 6. Spoilers. Switch to off. You are over waypoint 1. Now, turn right towards waypoint 2, heading 335 degrees. You can set the navigation computer to D1 if you need help finding the weapon's range. Maintain 300 knots and 3,000 feet altitude. The procedure for using the guns is as follows. 1. Set gun sight depression. On the briefing are shown depression tables for both the internal guns and the gun pods. Press left plus alt plus B to look at it. Press spacebar once you have dialed the depression value that you want to use. Use this dial to adjust the gun sight brightness, so that it does not hide the targets. 2. Set the weapon's function selector to its off position. You may also click on the base of the flight stick to hide it, in order to have better access to the weapons panel. When you are carrying external gun pods, you also need to turn on the corresponding station select switches. On this mission, we have gun pods on stations 2, 3 and 4, so turn them on. 3. Gun switch. Set it to ready if you want to fire the internal guns. If you only intend to use the external gun pods, then leave it off. 4. If you intend to use the gun pods, then, on the gun pod panel on the left console, turn the station select switches to ready. LH is the left gun pod at station 2, CTR is the center pod at station 3, and RH is the right gun pod. On the real aircraft you should not fire the centerline pod simultaneously with either the internal guns or the wing-mounted pods. But on DCS you can disregard this limitation. 5. When using external gun pods, you should next set the gun pod charge switch to the charge position, with a right mouse click. 6. Finally, prior to using the guns, you should set the master arm switch to on. 7. Fire the selected guns by pressing the flight stick trigger. Fire a short test burst now, to make sure we have the setup correct. We have reached waypoint 2. Turn right to enter the range on a heading of 90 degrees. The gun strafing pits are on its right side. First pass. Turn right 180 degrees, towards a heading of 270 degrees, and perform another pass. Try to aim to a different target. Second pass. Turn right 180 degrees, towards a heading of 270 degrees, and perform a third pass. Aim for a different target. Third pass, if you still have ammunition left, you can go around and perform another pass if you want. If you are finished, then turn to a heading of 135 degrees and return to Napa Airbase. Fourth pass, if you still have ammunition left, you can go around and perform another pass if you want. Remember that you can also switch your internal guns on, if the external pods are out of ammo. If you are finished, then turn to a heading of 135 degrees and return to Napa Airbase. Fifth pass, if you still have ammunition left, you can go around and perform another pass if you want. Unfortunately, the Skyhawk does not have ammunition counters for the guns, so you have to rely on feel alone to determine if you are out of ammo or not. If you are finished, then turn to a heading of 135 degrees and return to Napa Airbase. You can check your range results by calling up the communications menu. Select F10, Other. Then select F2, Range. Finally, click F1, My Strafe Results. Unfortunately, the Skyhawk and DCS can't communicate with air traffic control, so you must use the F10 map to be aware of other air traffic that may be flying near Napa. Press spacebar once you have checked the F10 map. You have reached waypoint 4. Reduce speed and altitude. Turn right 90 degrees, towards Napa. Since you can't contact an APA's ATC to request landing, check the F10 map to confirm there is no other air traffic near the runway. Perform a visual landing. Touchdown.
Chucks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.